This is a short introduction to the United Nations Security Council debates dataset. The United Nations Security Council is surely the most visible organ of the United Nations. They began operations in January 1946, and the Security Council consists of 15 members, 5 of which are permanent and 10 non-permanent members. The non-permanent members are elected on a regional basis to serve a term of 2 years, and the permanent 5 are Russia, United Kingdom, France, China and USA. The UNSC meetings are among the best reported activities of the United Nations. The debates are on regular activities as well as on emerging crises. Here, for example, we can see a meeting on the situation in Afghanistan. The protocols for these meetings are publicly available via a website of the United Nations, but they are available as PDF documents only, which renders them unsuitable for text analysis tasks. And this, of course, was the motivation to compile the dataset in the end. What we can see here is the first page of the meeting on the situation in Afghanistan. The first page already contains valuable information like the participants lists and the states the participants were representing. The first page also mentions under whose presidency this meeting was held, and it mentions the agenda, what the meeting will be about. The protocols then contain transcripts of speeches. The beginning of speeches, at the beginning of the speeches, the speaker and the country is mentioned, and further meta info like the language in which the speech was originally given. We translated the PDFs, the 2-column PDFs, then in a text representation, and we applied a pattern matching to detect the beginning of the speeches. And thereby we split the protocols into individual speeches, and we then collected metadata for every speech. We collected this metadata from the text itself as well, because as you can see here, the example of Mr. Saikal, some speakers weren't mentioned as participants on the first page of the protocol, like Mr. Saikal, who was invited to the table at the beginning of the meeting. And that's why we needed to collect the metadata from the text itself, because some people simply weren't mentioned on the first page of the protocol. The result is a large dataset consisting of more than 65,000 single speeches, which are added to the dataset as single text files. The time span of the dataset is January 1995 to December 2017, and the dataset will be updated. 2018 and 19 will follow very soon, and also in the future we plan to update the dataset and make it available under this digital object identifiers. The single text files are accompanied by metadata like the date of the meeting, the speaker, the status of the speaker, was the speaker invited or was he a member, and also the affiliation of the speaker, which means the country of the speaker or the speaker's role in the United Nations. This role we labeled manually and added it to the dataset. And also we decided to add an R data file or 2 R data files that are readily available. The first one contains the texts, which means the single speeches, and the second one contains two large tables with metadata on every single speech, as well as on the Security Council meetings. Two short impressions we got from the dataset. From 2014 onwards, there is an increase of the total number of speeches, while at the same time the permanent 5 don't talk more in a similar way. And from this fact we concluded that there is an increasing number of open debates, which we can see here. There are a few meetings that have really a large number of speeches. Notice the log scale of this chart here. And we say an open debate is a meeting where non-UNSC members were invited to the table. In total, of course, the permanent 5 contributed most, and but also the others that are serving terms of 2 years contribute a lot. The representatives of the UN are among the top contributors, but we also can see that the dataset still needs improvement, since a few speeches need country infos assigned. Thank you very much for your attention.